Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom. I hope everyone's had a good week at a distance from each other. I'm going to be doing this week's Parsha. So in this week's Parsha, Moses instructs Aaron and the Kohanim on the regulations of their duties relating to sacrifice and purification. The altar of the burnt offering, for example, must run day and night. Priests have to change their clothes when working with its offerings and ashes to remain pure. And the meat that is burned must not touch any unclean thing, and must also be eaten in a pure and clean place as well. Moses additionally instructs the Kohanim to remain in the sanctuary for 7 days, until they are ritually pure and protected, so that they, quote, do not die, and are then able to be anointed into the priesthood. Further, the offerings are varied. There are sacrifices made for the atonement of sins, and there are other sacrifices made for the ushering in of peace. Although this Parsha reflects thought from a time immemorial, these basics that Moses lays out here for a pure and healthy life are the very same procedures that we in 2020 are depending on for the health of our entire species. The altar for burnt offerings running day and night, priests laboring away and habitually changing their clothes clean, all with the aim of redeeming people into purity. This reminded me of the constant shifts our healthcare workers are laboring through day and night, even still changing their clothes for the sake of purity and health of our society at large. Imagine if the Kohanim did not have pure clothes to change into. How could they have redeemed the Israelites into purity? Imagine the doctors that do not have the clean supplies to work with. How can they redeem our friends and family members' health? Even the 7 days spent in the sanctuary, apart from the rest of the world, is reminiscent of the practices of quarantine and social distancing that we should all be partaking in now. Like the distinction between sacrifices for atonement of sins and sacrifices for the ushering in of peace, this week's Parsha teaches us that today we all have sacrifices to make. Some sacrifices are up to our modern day purifiers, our doctors and nurses and EMTs, even grocers and truckers, sacrificing their days and hours spent with loved ones to atone for the mismanagement of this crisis. Some of us have to make sacrifices for the cause of peace. That could be us, staying at home, missing events, missing friends, even weddings and funerals, for the sake of reigning in stability once again. In the days of the temple, making things pure and healthy was the exclusive duty of the Kohanim. But today, we can learn from their example of how it is all our duty to build a healthier society together. Good Shabbos.